Welcome to the Virtual Strategic Solutions Virtual Reality Simulation System. Accessing Legacy Dataset. Files loaded. Simulation ready. Henry Hank Maclean, or Overseer Hank, is an executive assistant of Vault Tech and former overseer of Vault 33 in the Fallout TV series. He is the father of Lucy and Norm Maclean. Following his abduction by Moldaver in 2296, Lucy leaves the Vault to rescue him. Hank was born sometime before the Great War and began working for Vault Tech Corporation as an executive assistant to Barb Howard. He was a fan of Cooper Howard and once asked him for an autograph. According to Cooper, in a later confrontation, Hank would sometimes pick up Barb's dry cleaning. Hank entered cryonic sleep on the eve of the Great War as one of Bud's Buds, a group of Vault Tech employees chosen by Bud Askins for Vault 31. He was released from cryonic sleep on August 9, 2268. After he was sent to Vault 33, he was elected overseer in 2271 and served in that role until his kidnapping by Lee Moldaver in 2296. As per Vault 32's and Vault 33's directives to be breeding pools for Vault 31, Hank met a woman, Rose, who was born in a vault and never saw the surface. He had 2 children, Lucy and Norman, with her. Upon learning that someone was siphoning some of the Vault's water production, Rose deduced that civilization had re-emerged on the surface. Hank pointedly forbade this line of questioning, prompting Rose to become suspicious of him. Rose fled to Shady Sands with their children, leading him to tell Vault Tech. Vault Tech eventually dropped a nuclear bomb on the city. This was done to erase factionalism, which Hank believed was a blight on their world, and to ensure the world could be remade according to Vault Tech's ideals. While Norm and Lucy were returned to the vault before the blast, Rose was left on the surface and became a ghoul, presumably due to radiation from the blast. Hank would lie to his children, telling them as they grew up that Rose died during a vault famine in 2277. In a conversation with the ghoul, Lucy initially defends her father, claiming he had even dropped to 128 pounds during this famine. She further insists Hank, along with all the other residents of Vault 33, would soon rather starve than resort to cannibalism. However, the ghoul expresses his skepticism about this. Nonetheless, the veracity of these claims has not yet been confirmed. Hank has a knack for science and exceptional people skills, both of which are helpful to his role as overseer. In fact, it is such that he is the glue that holds their community together. He believes it is the shared duty of every vault dweller to keep the candle of civilization lit. He enjoys gardening, watching movies, and book club with his daughter. In 2296, Hank organizes a trade with Vault 32 of supplies for a breeder named Monty to marry his daughter Lucy. He personally welcomes the Vault 32 dwellers, including their overseer Lee Moldaver, who informed him of the passing of previous overseer Ian Jackson. Later, at the wedding ceremony, Hank gives a speech blessing Lucy and Monty and mentions their children will likely be able to reclaim the surface. The Vault 32 residents turn out to be a group of raiders and attack Vault 33's residents. During the fight, Hank saves Lucy and drowns Monty to death. Hank and Lucy then find the Vault 33 residents held hostage. He said he thought he knew who Moldaver was, and she replied, everyone knew who she was. Moldaver offers Hank a vague choice between Lucy and the Vault dwellers, although it is unclear if she meant to be killed or held prisoner. Hank chose to shove Lucy into a room and told her she was his world. Hank was tranquilized by the raiders and kidnapped from Vault 33. Lucy enters the Griffith Observatory and finds her father trapped in a giant cage. However, Moldaver begins exposing Hank's atrocities, and Hank desperately tries to convince Lucy that she is lying. This does not work for Lucy, who is emotionally upset and believes in Moldaver. Lucy demands her father give Moldaver the code to cold fusion, which he reluctantly does, and she activates it. However, the Brotherhood of Steel arrives to attack, and Moldaver leaves to defend the base of the new California Republic. The Brotherhood gained the upper hand, and Hank was released from his cage by Maximus, but Lucy revealed to Maximus that her father was responsible for the bombing of Shady Sands. Infuriated, Maximus attacked Hank, but was knocked out by him, as Hank had already entered some power armor he had removed from a knight's body. Lucy then held her father at gunpoint, but he did not believe she would shoot him. The ghoul entered and shot at Hank, asking Hank where his family was. Hank did not reply, instead turning around to escape using the power armor. He was last seen walking in the desert several miles away from New Vegas.